Hello? Hello?
Podcast Network Asia.
What's going on? This is Xavier Woods, aka Austin Creed.
I said, give me a hell yeah!
Hey, this is Veda Zane.
Hello, WWE Universe in the Philippines. This is Charlotte.
Talent is not sexually transmitted.
You need to go back to the drawing board because your game absolutely sucks!
Hey everyone, this is Jeff Cobb.
I'm Lewis Howley. I'm Sam Scotia. We are pretty deadly. Yes, boy. Yes, boy.
Hello, my name is Ilya Dragunov, the Tsar, the NXT UK champion, and you're listening to the Wrestling Podcast.
Welcome to the audio-only portion of this week's live stream. So we reserved NXT Heatwave for this part because we have a lot to talk about in terms of the card. 5 matches as usual for this special episode. Pretty sure now there will be other matches and segments as the episode progresses. For now though, let's predict the 5 main ones that they've been promoting. So to kick off NXT Heatwave, let's talk about Cora Jade versus Roxanne Perez. And coming into this one, I think foregone conclusion naman nanalo si Roxanne because she looks like she's being positioned as the top babyface. And I'm kind of confused where this is supposed to leave Cora Jade moving forward.
I don't know. I'm not quite sure. Cora Jade has been made to look a little weak since turning heel, like Metro Chicken Shit heel, and she hasn't been winning. So I feel like she kind of needs a win here. So my money is on her. I think Roxanne, as the underdog face someone, can lose just fine and not really take away from it. But since Cora Jade has the newer character here, she needs a win for me.
Yeah, I guess Roxanne can go the Rey Mysterio route of, just being the undersized babyface. It's okay if she keeps losing, like that's actually part of the shtick. So yeah, I can see how that makes sense. Next up, street fight between Santos Escobar and Tony D'Angelo. So this week on NXT, they had the final accord, which I thought I thought they were going to have like this huge parking lot brawl or this brawl at the fountain, wherever it was that they met up. Yun pala, nag-usap lang sila and they set the stipulation for this one. So if Santos wins, Legado is free from the D'Angelo family. If Tony D'Angelo wins, then Escobar will be banned from NXT 2.0.
I think this is Escobar is to lose, Santos is to lose. As I said on my NXT review on Patreon, the guy is 38 years old. He doesn't need to be in developmental any longer, especially when NXT is truly developmental now. SmackDown needs him. So I think this is a way for him to move up.
Ano yun? Pag nag-move up siya, does he move up with Legado?
Sana, kasi those two are main roster ready as well, and it's not like they're doing anything big on NXT in the NXT tag team division. So I think all 3 of them or all 4 of them can be used by SmackDown.
Yeah, I think if Legado debuts on SmackDown this year, I think they'll have a better outlook than Hit Row, diba? When Hit Row debuted. Kasi very sudden din yung pag-call up sa Hit Row on SmackDown last year. They debuted all together and then within weeks they were all gone. So I'd like to think that with this version of the main roster, Legado will have a better shot at succeeding.
Yeah.
So it looks like Tony D'Angelo will be winning the street fight. Let's move on to the title matches. First off, North American title, heel versus heel na naman. Carmelo Hayes versus Giovanni Vinci.
Yeah, this is really becoming a thing on NXT. So you could decide for yourself who's the real heel here, who's the face here. And I think this time around, they're positioning Hayes as the face.
No.
Huh? I don't know. I don't know. It just feels like he's the bigger face here because he's more popular. It's really weird and there's not much substance to it, but Giovanni Vinci is feeling like the bigger dick here. So by virtue of being the bigger, they're both workhorses, but by virtue of being the more popular star, I think Melo here is the face and I think he'll be retaining. I think this will be a perfunctory defense for him.
I actually want Hayes to lose just because I want to see somebody else become North American champion. And I don't know, I don't necessarily agree na Hayes is the de facto face here. Like for me, the fact na may Trick Williams siya, ta sobrang kupal din ni Trick. I think mas de facto face si Vinci dito.
I don't know. Again, it's been a thing that they do. So I'm not entirely sure, but this is just my opinion.
It could very well be parang let the fans decide. Bahala sila kung sino mas trip nila.
Yeah, yun nga, exactly. That's exactly what it is. And right now, mas trip ko si Carmelo Hayes. And I think mas trip na mga tao si Carmelo Hayes.
All right. Let's go to the NXT Women's Championship. Ito mas clear cut. It's Mandy Rose versus Zoe Stark. And we're closing in on the 1-year mark for Mandy Rose as champion. Ito na ba?
I think this is it. Yeah. I think it's time to move the entire Toxic Attraction to the main roster. I think it's time to move Mandy back up. They've done everything that they need to do here. Gigi and JC have been seasoned enough. I think they're ready. We do need a change in the women's division. I think Zoe is the best they've got right now that Io is gone, Dakota is gone. So I think it's time to reward her. I don't think there's a low chance of it happening, but I think it's time.
Do you think Zoe can carry the women's division though?
Yeah, I think so. Kaya naman niya. She's really sure. She's really confident. She carries herself well. And she feels like a champion to me already.
What do you think about the idea of simultaneously having 2 trios na heel in the women's division? Because you have Bayley, Dakota, and Io who just debuted as a force of nature. And then now you have Toxic Attraction.
Keep them on SmackDown. Like, you can keep Bayley stable on Raw and keep these girls on SmackDown.
Ang gusto ko kay Mandy is that at least with Toxic Attraction, she became a totally different person. And she's a fully formed, fully fleshed out heel now, as opposed to dati na, wala, she's a hot girl, therefore she's a heel. Or nung naging jowa siya ni Otis, yun, dun pa lang siya talaga nagka-personality. So I kind of like the idea of seeing Toxic Attraction on the main roster. So I would love to see Zoe win here.
Yeah, that's why I said that the transformation is complete.
Ito, NXT Championship in the main event, Braun Breaker versus JD McDonough. For some reason, medyo hindi natin sila na-feel this week on NXT. Like, I think yung pinaka-go-home segment nila was a contract signing last week.
That's what I said on the podcast, the live stream earlier, that it feels like Braun Breaker is a sideshow right now. So I don't really care about this. It's going to be a fun match, but I think it's just going to pad Braun's resume. And, I don't know where JD goes from here, pero he's not going to win. I don't think he's going to win it.
Why not?
Well, it doesn't seem like a big deal. So I don't think they're going to pull off a random title change off of something that doesn't feel like a big deal.
If anything, I would argue that JD actually has more of a character here on 2.0 than he did in UK. Because in the UK, Irish ace. Like, what did that mean? Whereas here, there's actual characterization. He's like a surgeon. He knows what body parts to target. Like, talagang he defined what being a technician is.
Yeah, agree. They kind of failed him in NXT NXT UK because I don't think they were quite sure what to make of him. But I'm glad he's getting a second chance here. And I'm glad that he's getting an actual character here. It's just that they didn't give him time this week.
Yeah, I do want to see what would happen with JD McDonough as champion, though, just because I guess it's a reboot. Because they changed his name. They actually gave him a personality now. So I wouldn't mind seeing Braun lose to JD to give Braun something to fight for. Then maybe that's how Braun Breaker's personality comes out again. And maybe it could be better than the Breaker-Gacy feud.
Okay, yeah. I don't know. This was even worse, I think, than the Breaker Gracie feud. Kasi,
really? Okay.
Because at least there was an actual drama. It's just that Gacy isn't a good enough actor for it. This one is kind of run-of-the-mill, and they kind of rushed it just to have something for the NXT Championship on this special episode.
Yeah, which is weird kasi of all these matches, parang yung pinaka-built up was ito na, and probably Cora and Roxanne.
Yeah. A lot of things going on NXT 2.0, but some things still felt a little rushed.
Yeah, so Heatwave's happening next week, Wednesday, Manila time. It'll be another one of those special live episodes for NXT 2.0. So there you have it. That's the audio-only portion of this week's live stream.
The views and opinions expressed by the podcast creators, hosts, and guests do not necessarily reflect the official policy and position of Podcast Network Asia, the hosts of the program, or other programs of the network. Any content provided by the people on the podcast are of their own opinion and are not intended to malign any religion, ethnic group, club, organization, company, individual, or anyone or anything.